Assalamu alaikum friends, my name is Mohammed Nisar Khan and welcome to the day 12 of the 21 day learning SQL challenge. Hope everybody is doing good, everybody is doing fine. And yesterday it was a great session, we learned a lot of things and day 11 was a great success. And if you haven't watched that video, you can go back to the playlist in the English part and you can watch that video, and I have uploaded their summary of that video, and also the live will be uploaded soon. So we will just just be simply discussing about yesterday day 11, that what we learned and what was the verdict of ChatGPT. So what does ChatGPT told me yesterday? That my component on grain was excellent, the window direction was correct, the churn detection logic was correct, and the data set boundary awareness, it needed some refinement when there were some issues, if you remember from the previous video. And otherwise the query clarity, it was clean. And this was the let's see what we got for day 12. And with that being said, let's press it and ask ChatGPT what has he got for us for the day 12. And then it seems a bit slow, but anyways will be focusing now. We have gotten our day 12 started. Let's see what is this about. Good. Day 12 starts now. Today we move into real product analytics, cohort analysis, and retention. These are things companies actually show in executive dashboards. Okay, so new theory overload straight to business problems. Okay. So whatever we'll be learning today in day 12, it is the cohort analysis and retention, real product analytics, cohort analysis and retention. Okay, so these are the things which the companies show in the executive dashboards. Okay, so day 12. Now let's get into the question 1. Day 12, question 1, business scenario. The growth team wants to understand customer retention. They want a cohort view for customers who made their first purchase in a given year. How many of them came back in later years? Okay, so the question is that the growth team wants to understand customer retention. Okay, the growth team wants to understand the customer retention. They want a cohort view. So what is the cohort means? Let's just check before moving forward. Cohort. Okay, a group of people with shared characters. Okay, got it. Okay, so what is common between them? For customers who made their first purchase in a given year, and how many of them came back in later years? For example, cohort year at 2018 purchase. Okay, friends, and after some time, I think so, more than 40 minutes, I think 45 minutes, we have finally been able to crack this thing down, because it was our first question regarding the cohort and retention analysis. So I struggled a lot, and to solve that issue I also took the help of Gemini. But I took the help of Gemini by asking him about cohorts and retention as in all, just to understand it even more. And I come up with some great things, and I learned a lot of things regarding this whole concept. And after some deliberate trial and error, I have come up with this solution. And as far as I see it, it's good, because there are no red lines here, which means that it is correct up till now, but we don't know about the results. I haven't run it now, so let's see what does we have. But before moving forward, let me explain you a bit what I have done, what I have come up with. So you understand the question which I explained earlier, that for the customers who made their first purchase in a given year, we have to find first of all cohort. And I studied about cohort during this time, and I realized that cohort refers to some specific characteristic of a group. But a specific characteristic means, let's just say so for example, for a subscription, A person subscribes to Netflix in 2021. That means it is his cohort year. Okay, so when in 2025, when they want to know whether the customer which was our whenever, so whatever, what does cohort means, that they create a characteristic like means that whoever has subscribed to us in 2021, which is their initial purchase, 2021, that will be divided into a cohort. That anyone who have subscribed in 21 will be one cohort. Anyone who has subscribed to the Netflix in 2022, there will be another cohort. So on, these cohorts, you are defining them by specific characteristics. The specific characteristic is based on subscription. It can be also based on the fact that anybody who spends more than $1,000 on our product, he can be another cohort. And these types of cohort can be, that depends on the company. So I have understood that cohort. Okay, that is cohort. And these when you understand cohort, and when you know the foundation of cohort, that is when you realize that how to use it in the customer retention. And it took a lot of time, but thankfully understood it. Now the first thing was the requirements, which already ChatGPT told me that what he wants from me is the cohort year. Now obviously cohort year my first attempt. And so thankfully he has given me this. This was a good hint. If I say, it's fair to say that it was one of the most best hints I have ever got, considering that it was the first time I was attempting the cohort analysis. Now if you see the first purchase year per customer, and obviously this was the first step. So the first step which I did was I wrote the select, because I need customer ID. It's already written here, number of customers, unique customers. So I just name the call the dimension table, the customer key column, and designed and provided him with an alias as customer ID. Okay, and then I went to from, because I knew that I had to, if I want to order date, because of this hint, I knew that I had to calculate when the order was placed. Okay, so when the order was placed, I need to take care of this thing. So what I did was that I applied this min calendar year. That means that it is looking for the year, a calendar year. So I can use this. I have used year, the inbuilt function of the SQL, and the order date. And the order date is, so after sharing it with our code with ChatGPT said, nice day 12. Let's quickly walk through what your SQL is doing and what it's useful for. Well, I have already explained, but anyways, what ChatGPT has to say. ChatGPT says that your first CTE, the customer cohort, the purpose was to identify the first year each customer made a purchase. Yes, it was this purpose. How it works: customer key, unique identifier, min year date, earliest purchase year, and that your earliest year becomes your cohort year. Okay, customer ID 11,000 2023, meaning that customer 11,000 purchased in 2012 and customer 11,001 purchased in 2013. Okay, then my CTE with yearly activity. Purpose: find every year a customer made a purchase. Find every year a customer made a purchase. Distinct ensures that each customer year appears only once. Okay, so now what was the purpose of this yearly activity? It was to find every year a customer every year a customer made a purchase. Yeah, it was that. And using distinct, so distinct ensures there appear once. So yeah, I already explained, but anyways, final query was that it combines the purchase activity with cohort year. Yeah, this is important. I want to read it. Example. Okay, so it is just telling me that it is combining both of them. Now the customer ID and cohort year, they have been joined. Okay, so what is this analysis used for? This query builds the foundation for cohort analysis, which helps answer customer retention, repeat purchase behaviors, and how long customers stay active. Okay, example inside cohort year or customer active. So and 2012 to 13. Okay, so the customer years. Okay, so the customers who initially bought in 2012, they were 100 unique customers, and those customers who had a cohort year in 2012, when their purchase history was studied in 2013, purchase pattern, they found that only 70% 70 people are still buying from us. And then if you look at the same 2 years later, now I understand completely. Now the cohort year is completely. Now this is important for customer retention, and it should be. Now the 2012, those guys with this is the specific characteristic that those who have purchased in the 2012, now 2 years after studying it, the study pattern, we realize that 45%. This tells us that the customers are avoiding us, are not buying from us. Okay, so small optimization tip, everything was good. You don't actually need to join dim customer. You don't need to join dim customer here because customer key already existed. You don't actually need to join. You should simplify. Okay, simplify. So where is guys? We moved to. I asked him. So so friends, ChatGPT wanted me to finish off day 12 with just one question, but I was like, no, ask me two more questions, then it would be wrapped up for today. But ChatGPT liked my dedication and love, but he gave me two SQL practice questions. Okay, but the problem was that these questions are pretty basics, and there was nothing, there was nothing regarding the business question. These are just like routine questions, and it was totally unrelated to our agenda. Our agenda was cohort analysis for day 12. So these are top product per year and all these were routines which we have already done from day 1 to day 7. Okay, so now I told him that, ask me related to day 12 agenda. So and ask you're asking me these are basic questions. So ChatGPT was like, yeah, thanks for reminding me, this is about cohort analysis, the question should stay basic and directly related to, not general analytics. Yeah, there was general analytics, so let's keep the pattern you have been following. Yep. Yeah, now he's saying that using the cohort. So friends, I have completed question 2 just now. It was quite easy. And the question was that customer cohort table, that using the customer cohort table which I have created, how many customers belong to each cohort here. You have here to tell me that how many customers belong to each cohort year. Now return the cohort year of customers. Expected output example, cohort 2011 and 150 customers in this, and I had to use count and group by. Okay, so boys, question 3 was that customer activity after cohort, find how many years after the cohort year purchased happened. So I just needed to create a column which was already told to me by ChatGPT as a hint, and I had to return all these. Okay, so it was easy, I told you, and I have already. He also tells me that I've already done this customer cohort and yearly activity. I just needed to have this calculation join into the calculations. Okay, so what I did was that I didn't use this yearly activity minus this purchase year minus cohort year, not in one of these two cities but rather on the last one, because this is where I felt that it was appropriate. Because if I apply it there, then there might be some problems, because we are focusing on the joins now. So just I've shared this question 2 and question 3 reviews with ChatGPT, and ChatGPT says your idea is correct, but there is a small structural mistake in the query you pasted. You wrote SQL query, select customer key and min, yes, and you forget to define. Okay, define the city name. Oh, I directly start from here. I had to define with the customer cohorts. Okay, okay, okay. I forgot that. Sorry, my bad. And evaluation is correct logic, correct aggregation, correct grouping. Okay. So this is exactly how cohorts is calculated in production analysis. -1 for missing city declaration, score 9 out of 10. Okay. Question 3 review. Years after cohort, the solution is very good. What you just tried, separated logic into CTEs, use listing to avoid duplicate years, joint activity with cohort, calculate year. Your final solution. This is exactly cohort progressions. Acha, okay, so this is the exactly the correct cohort progression calculation. Okay, fine. Small improvement order by. Instead of writing this, you can write customer key in years after cohort. Yeah, I should have write customer key. It is cleaner, easier to understand. Okay, that's fine. Well, I think so. Both of the questions are fine. With that being said, let's continue reading forward. What you actually built today. Without realizing, you built the base for retention analysis pipeline. Okay. So I built a base for the retention analysis pipeline. The full pipeline looks like this. Step 1, find cohort year. Step 2, find purchase year. Step 3, join them. Step 4, calculate years after cohort. Step 5,